Well, I mean, what better to start a stream than a
I
cat's
know.
booty?
Yeah. I'm like, it's not breakfast for a whole hour. You'll have to wait.
Well, hello, internet. We're gonna,
Hello.
we are going to get through this today.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
are.
We're fine. Yeah.
I figured
That's
out how to add music for when we write later, so that I don't have to like have it in a different screen playing. I can add it right onto here.
well done. Have
I
you
know.
ever run the stream before?
No,
Okay.
no.
For some reason, the interface is not letting me see any chat. So if there are people there, one
Oh,
of us, I don't know if we need, yeah.
there. Okay, yeah, I can't see any chat. Oh, there.
Oh, okay.
There. Now the chat is just going to pop up because
Yeah,
that makes it a whole lot easier than
absolutely.
me like
Multitasking.
having to maybe click on things to like say put this comment up.
Mm.
Oh, but maybe we don't want to do that. What if we get not great comments? Okay, let's not do that.
I think the last time that Dan was away and I wasn't streaming yet, um, Jen and Ember did do that, but I was in the chat, so I was,
Well,
yeah.
if somebody says something in the chat, let me know. And that way if I don't see it pop up.
The dilemma is I can't see it. It
Oh,
said we're having trouble connecting to the chat, and in order to do that, I would have to jump out of the stream and come back in again. I don't know if it's
okay.
a
We'll
good thing.
figure it
So,
out. It
yeah,
doesn't say that we have any viewers right now, so that's fine. So we're good. We're good.
cool. So, our plan for today.
Our plan for today. So card first, and because there are some things in life like I like to plan. My writing is not one of them. I don't like to plan my writing, but there are other things that I do like to plan. And so I was shuffling my cards, and I just happened to draw one because I'm like, trying to find the things in the book sometimes is a little bit stressful. And I was like, let's see, does this fit anything with writing? And it
Mm.
actually did. And so I already have the card done. And then
No,
um, we're gonna write.
yeah. I
'Cause
kind of have a writing side project, but it's something that I've been putting off for a while that I want to have a go at
oh,
getting
that's
started.
exciting.
It's Freedom Slaves related. We're trying to figure out an easier way to do the shared thing. We've got a website, but with the way Google Sites changed in the past couple of years, it's just really clunky to use for what we were doing. So we actually talked about finding an alternative, and it looked like maybe OneNote as a piece of software could do a similar kind of, because you can share them, but it
Yeah.
might, the editing it interface could be a bit easier. So I promised Dan that I would have a go at getting like a starter version set up that we can play around in. So yeah.
Okay. Have you guys like looked at Dropbox or like using
Well,
Dropbox?
the thing is, we want a shared location where we can like co-edit stuff. But when you go into it, like you can see it, it's almost like a web page rather than having to open a file every time. So
Oh, gotcha.
the type of thing we use is almost like a wiki, the
Okay.
way we were using Google Sites, but the interface for that now is pretty terrible on Google Sites. So yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So this is
Okay.
just a transfer a few things over and see if I can get it looking the way that might be helpful. And I just haven't had the time to sit down and do it. And I was like, oh, I could do that.
There you go.
Yeah.
That will be nice. I'm continuing on with um Alana's story and seeing where that takes me today.
We're going to aim for half an hour. Is that the plan?
Yeah. So, but let's do a card first. So I have this deck that I haven't used a whole lot, but I think the artwork is just really kind of cool. It's called the Tarot of the She. And for the longest time, I've said this word wrong, but on the back of the box, it has it like phonetically spelled out, which is really, really nice.
Yep.
So, and the writing is really tiny. So, I pulled the Death card.
Interesting. Yeah,
But,
artwork. Yeah.
It is. It's really cool. So let me put my glasses on because writing in this book is like so stinking tiny. Okay. So, the new moon speaks of an inevitable winter as the cold wind caresses the autumn yews. Roots grow deep like veins into the bones of the ancestors, and I still wait upon the mound. Fear me not, for I am not your end, but rather that which cuts you free. I am the owl's wisdom that flies by night. I am the golden wings of the untethered soul. I am the candlelit path to a new existence. I am the shining memories of those that passed, that which is forgotten and yet always longed for. I am the kindling of new life. I am evolution. I am the transformation of your inner being. Fear not death. You know me well. This path you have trodden many times before. The lintel carries this sacred sign we all must pass beneath. Step forward bravely, and you will see that death is but a land of life renewed. So the keywords change, renewal, endings, beginnings, transformation, shifting awareness, shedding, clarity, progress, awakening, rebirth. And then there is like a whole nother page that like kind of talks about the art itself. But I'm not going to read all of that.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. What do you think of that, Jules?
I was actually, we're reading it before you even got to the words at the end. I was like, yeah, this is about things changing and growing, not just death. And I've had a lot of that in the last few months. So all in good ways, but it's been interesting. Like there's been certain points where I'm like, that's kind of been pain, like even just physical pain, like having to go to hospital and have surgery without any warning whatsoever. But like the end result of that has actually still been great. So
yeah. Yeah, I like there's a song. Oh, and now the band is oh my gosh. I'm such a bad 90s kid. The song Closing Time.
Okay.
I cannot think of the name of, oh my gosh. But anyway, there's a line that says every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. And I really like that.
Yeah.
And like to tie into where I'm at in my story. So I am on session, let's see, what session am I writing? Session 48. I'm almost to the end of session 48. And in session 11, Alana had something pretty, horrific and life-changing happen to her. And some of it got remedied fairly quickly, But then there's another part that is going to get remedied. Like that's the next thing that I get to write.
Yeah.
And so that I'm really, really looking forward to like that ending of that thing.
Are you at the point where you'll be working on that today, or?
Yes.
No.
So the title of this chapter that I'm working on is called Good Riddance.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's kind of perfect.
I'm like, I was looking like when did I start working on this chapter? I was trying to look at my spreadsheet earlier. So I started working on this chapter at the beginning of last month.
Okay.
And so yeah, I am ready to have this thing done.
How many words do you tend to get done in that period of time? Just curious.
I mean, I've only written when we've done streams. And so last month I wrote 1,955 words.
Yeah.
In 30
minutes?
No, I guess.
Oh, over the...
I wrote 3 different days.
Okay. Yeah, there were a few sprints last month, weren't there?
Yeah. So I wrote 3 different days and got almost 2,000 words.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I see that we have one viewer. If you have chatted anything and we haven't seen it, I apologize. I don't 100% know what I'm doing. So if I'm missing it, I'm very, very sorry. I see you. Appreciate you being here.
I'm just wondering if it might be worth me jumping out and seeing if I can, so I can at least keep an eye on the chat, because I don't mind doing that.
If you want to, you can.
Hopefully it will only take like 2 minutes. So
you can totally do
or
that.
less than 2 minutes. I will see if we can get that working. Just a moment.
Awesome. Oh, I don't. Okay. So while Jules is getting ready to come back, we are going to do a sprint in just as soon as she gets back in, for probably about 30 minutes. I got some music queued up. And I've got Dan sent me the dinosaurs, and I went searching to see what other kind of timers there were, because why not? And I found dragons. So today we're going to have dragons racing instead of dinosaurs. Very excited about that. I really wish I could see if there was any chatting. I might log on my phone. And just check. Okay, it doesn't look like it. So that is a positive. Okay, cool. So we're just going to wait for Jules. And then we're going to write. Sorry, I'm kind of boring by myself. I don't have anybody to bounce anything off of. Except for I feel like I had an idea for another story over the weekend, and now I can't remember what it was. That's why I usually write things down, and I didn't write it down this time. That's not very helpful.
Okay. Hoping that'll be better. I can see the chat now.
Okay. Well, I went
browser. So.
Gotcha. I went and looked on the Twitch stream. Like, I just opened it on my phone, and it didn't look like there were no messages on there. So I was like, okay, cool. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to play this. And so this is called, I want to give credit to this. It's on Tabletop Audio, which is all completely free. All one word, Tabletop Audio. And this is Middle Earth Dawn.
I've been rereading Lord of the Rings, so I approve.
And I'm just going to loop it because it is just chill and really kind of beautiful.
He's breaking my camera. What are you doing, Puss?
And then let me, oh, not that. Okay. Oh, nope, this. Okay. Then I'm going to share this. I was saying while you were out that Dan sent me the dinosaurs. And because I'm me, I went looking and I found dragons instead.
Yep. Let's do that.
And
there's more of them.
I put 5 because I wanted 5.
Yeah.
So do you have one that you're hoping wins?
Or I like that one at the bottom.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like those colors.
All right. I'm gonna go with this green one right at the other side. Okay. Okay. Well, are we ready then?
Yep.
Okay. Well, happy writing.
Yeah, you too. See you soon. Should we be? Oh, you're sharing your screen.
Shh. You shush. Okay, not you, Jules.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that was noises. Okay.
fast.
That did go fast. It did. Oh, hold on. Let me shut this music off. I thought it would count down and it didn't.
In the last few minutes.
Yeah, in the last like 5 seconds or so, or 10 seconds. And neither one of our dragons won. The orange one did. But I stopped sharing it, so sorry.
That's fine. At least that kind of felt like a productive 30 minutes, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you go?
Hold on. I need to highlight my things because if I don't highlight them now, I'm gonna forget. Because there's a battle that happened that I'll have to go back and write later. Okay. Okay, so now math, because subtraction is not my strong suit. 916.
Oh, that's too big. Nice. Yep. Awesome. So I managed to get the basic structure set up and copied about 8 or 9 different pages from our website into the new interface, and I think it's going to work. I think it's going to make life so much easier because it was set up like a website. You always had they introduced the extra step of, oh, now you've made it. It's now you have to republish every page. Like the editing wasn't really user friendly, just for everyday use. So I think this is going to make it way easier to keep track of stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm happy. Good.
So Booney. Okay. Booney was here. Sorry, I was in a different screen, Booney. And yes, dragons.
Mm-hmm.
I found a new timer.
Maybe because we didn't have our videos on the screen as well as the screen share, it was a bit.
Maybe. Yeah, I might have to figure out how to do that because there are a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I might come in and play with this because I think it's just me and you next week too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Figure out if we can get a interface that'll let us have your screen share and both of our videos as well.
I think it will actually. I think this half screen one will. I'm pretty sure. We'll figure it out. But yeah.
So is there something you particularly enjoyed about your session? Ooh.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll talk, Booney. Yeah, it's interesting doing sprints because trying to immerse myself in my character where I was at that time and being in her headspace, especially with this particular thing. And then also some of this I am ad-libbing a little bit.
That's always fun.
Not a ton, not things that are going to be out of the other character's character, but like for this one particular thing, I didn't have written down like where everyone else was, so we put them somewhere.
Like you're adding detail in the bits that were not already coloured in.
Yeah.
Have you ever had the experience of like you've kind of almost like an NPC, like a secondary character who suddenly walks on, like kind of walks in and like, I want to have more to do with this story? Maybe because if you're working with what's happening in an RPG, it's not the same. But I've had the experience of like characters who I thought were going to be side characters suddenly decide they were going to become a main character. And it's like, oh, hello.
So not with this story, but with my the fan fiction that I was writing with my friend. So, well, we were writing in the same world. So like I would write one story and it was a soulmates like reincarnation story or series. Like I would write one story and then she would write a story and then I would write a story, then she would write a story. And they would go to this place in between. And in one of my stories, in that place in between, I really developed two characters. So it was called The Unknown. In The Unknown, who became kind of secondary main characters throughout the rest of the series.
Yeah.
And one of them was Karma, like actual Karma.
Yep.
Only we personified her. But the way I picture her in my head is Alana.
Yep.
But it's what's really kind of interesting about our D&D game is that Alana's love interest was very much that way. Like I had no intentions of her having a love interest, but then in this one session, for whatever reason, like she went and sat by this guy and like
I like when that happens.
That was it.
Yeah. My novel that I wrote by myself, it started as a short story that came from Nano, turned into a novel. And in the original story, there was one love interest, and then in the novel, that kind of changed. And I was like, oh, but I was like, I guess when something kind of expands and takes up more space, that is definitely a possibility. So, yeah. I kind of like it when characters feel like they take on a life of their own.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels very different than when things somewhat get forced.
Yep. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I like to feel like I've done a bit of planning with my characters, but at the same time, when stuff happens organically, that feels nice too. Often I'll have a character suddenly appear and then I'm like, oh, I need to go and find out more about that. So this novel I haven't published yet because I haven't had a chance to do a second draft. It needs some story work because I was still figuring out how story structure worked when I was working on that novel. But to read the short story in the collection on Smashwords is probably gives you a good indication of my style. And Dan's character makes a cameo at the end, which is fun.
Well,
Yeah. I don't know if I can actually post anything in the chat, but the name of the anthology is Eclectica. So eclectic with just an A on the end on Smashwords, and it's free. So for some reason, the interface doesn't seem to want to give me an option to post something. Otherwise, I'd post the link in the chat.
I got it.
I might have shared it on Discord, actually.
There.
Beautiful. Yes.
Did that work?
Yes, it did. Well done.
Oh, yay. Awesome.
So you can post in the chat. Nice.
That's
yeah,
cool.
so that short story is actually, I mean, it's actually kind of got a very mild spoiler for Freedom Saves book, because the story actually comes after the book. But it's good fun. So, yeah.
Oh, Dance Kitty. See, I don't like it. That's supposed to be an emoji.
Yeah, maybe it's just this interface that's doing that, because it doesn't.
I think it
normally.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Wow, I can't believe we've hit an hour already.
I know.
I'm impressed. Cool. So do we want to do, if we're going to have another person joining us, do we want to do another sprint next week, or do we want to have a discussion, or a bit of both?
Maybe a bit of both. I'm always
Yeah, me too. I thought it might be interesting to talk about like creativity and using randomization to help with creativity. Yeah, I was like, yeah, Erica's going to enjoy that. Because I found so many fun tools that have actually been really, like, I'm just like, I love this. And Dan has never really been interested in using some of the things that I've come across. He's just like, Julie's just found another random thing that she gets really excited about. But I'm like, if there's other people who like using that as part of their process, that might be fun to chat about.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And
I have whole folders full of randomization tools, like mostly for D&D stuff, but
so just as a quick kind of part of the reason I was thinking about that, one of the things that I did when I was I've been working on my current novel for my PhD, was I wanted to have a way to kind of build a little bit of history of the world that didn't have to be super planned out, but kind of could be used as part of the texture in the background, like events or things that you might be able to reference that you don't just come up with on the fly. But I didn't want to have to, I wanted to use some randomization. And so I actually got Dan's help to, I had called it the historical thesaurus, and just using some randomization mechanics with dice to come up with, here's a historical event, and then just seeing how things fit together and where that might fit in the scope, and actually came up with a whole like 500, 1,000 year framework that's got a bunch of events. And then I was like, oh yeah, the novel fits in here and stuff. And it was really fun.
That's cool.
To kind of, yeah. So.
Yeah, totally. I'm all about like sharing resources.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll plan on that.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you for joining us, Booney. And I think somebody else came right at the end. So
okay.
Whoever you are, thank you for joining us too. And we will see you next week.